Svetasvatara Upanisad. We are on page 96, 96 and the 14th verse, 14th mantra. Swadeham aranim kritva pranavam chottaranin dhyana nirmatana bhyasa devam pashe nirgudavat. So here is the translation is making one's own body the lower arani, that's a piece of wood, and om, the upper arani. One should, through the practice of meditation, that is likened to rubbing, realize a deity which is hidden, as it were. This is a continuation of last class, which due to some technical glitch couldn't be recorded. And we will, in that case, we will continue with that subject matter. So the idea was that we had spoken of last time, making one's own body the arani. We had explained what's arani. Arani was in the old days when they had to obtain fire. There were two pieces of wood called arani, dry wood, and they used to rub them together, and it used to spark. Now you need a lot of rubbing, but then they had a technique of keeping both them and then twirling them around. So they rubbed. Constant attrition was what sparked. So the fire is latent in that, like the last mantra. If the fire wasn't latent in that wood, it wouldn't have sparked, and then they wouldn't have been able to perform either the sacrifices or the household chores or whatever. It was an ancient way of obtaining fire, and what is ancient becomes in time sacred or holy. Birch bark, as Vivekananda say, was commonly used, but since it was used by the ancients, that became sacred. Then we used to write on those birch barks, those kind of made kind of leaf, and then that Burju Patra, and so it became holy. So we will make pranams and that. The idea is it's common in all cultures. Whatever was old, ancient, whatever they used for religious ceremonies or not, it became in time holy. So, especially during, even today, even yes, in some places there are, like we use matchsticks, etc. In those days, they never used matchsticks, and even in certain areas, places in India, they use the old method of rubbing the.
They still do that?
Yes.
Adivasis.
Yes. Adivasis, I mean, those Adivasis are forest dwellers. They are the tribal, still found in India. But even amongst the ritualists, you use the old method of rubbing and obtaining fire for the yajna. Now, this same analogy is given in order to make it. The body is now the lower arani, the lower piece of wood, and the upper piece of wood, the other one, the higher one, is the syllable Om. and then you got to rub both of them together. So that's the idea. Making one's own body the lower arani and om the upper arani, the piece of wood. One should, through the practice of meditation, go meditation. It's like rubbing. It's like, you rub, and then you obtain fire. So you keep on meditating on the om till that which is within. Now, what is within? It's called the luminous one, Deva. In the third mantra, we had seen the cause of this universe is this luminous one. Not time, not space, or no, not the law of causation, not destiny, nothing. So, one by one, these questions were put up and they were dismissed. And finally, they, through meditation, they discovered that it is the Lord there inside. So, briefly, on page 49, Devatma Shaktim Swagunayar Nigodam, the Dhyana Yoga. By practicing the yoga of meditation, they realized the power of the deity himself, hidden by its own effects, the Lord. So it is a continuation of that subject matter. The idea was, how do you realize it now? It was clear that yes, this is the cause of the universe. And now, what is that cause of the universe? Is that Deva Atma Shakti. That is that luminous, that Lord who is the cause of the universe is within each and every body. And there they said, through the power of meditation. Now here it is specific. Now how do you meditate? That was a general instruction. Okay, God is everywhere. We say, no? And in India it is very common. Oh, you see, God it resides in every heart. He is the indweller. And even children will tell you, old people will tell you. They're saying, yes, that is known. And but how do you actualize this? So they give you a means. What is the means? It's the symbol Om. Now you keep on meditating on it. It's like Om, Om, Om. What's Om? No, it is as the Yoga Sutra says, by meditating on its meaning is the way. Now, what is Om? Om, it's just sound. No, the Yoga Sutra also says that it is the name of God. Tasya Vachaka Pranava. His name, the Lord's name, is Om. Now we are getting it. Now you are chanting or you're meditating on that syllable Om, which is the name of God. Oh, yeah. And what else? It is the universe. Yes, God hasn't just created you. To create you, it had to create the whole universe. And this is a symbol of not only God, but it's all a symbol of the universe. A symbol of the universe. One thing we know that, oh yes, this universe is what we see, the perceptible universe. There are other levels of the mind that also are levels of the universe. So the three syllables of Om, O, U, and Ma. A. When you open your mouth. And oo is a rolling sound. Oo. And ma is when you close it. It's the most natural sound that a person can. Now, so it encompasses all the sounds. It's a kind of matrix of all sounds. That's the reason why it's given Om. Of course, there are in Tibetan Buddhism, it's called Hum. Different traditions, but it's a same. You say Hum or you say Om. Now, when we meditate on this Om, you have to meditate on the gross, the subtle, and the causal universe. You are actually meditating. You're not, oh, I'm going to meditate on the gross universe. And you look around and then you close your eyes and meditate on the subtle universe. You don't need to do all that. And then the Om merges in the kind of a bindu, as they say, kind of a spot. Oh, oh. There's a period of silence till the next one is uttered. So we say that it emerges from that root, gets manifested, and merges back in that. It's a continuous sound that is heard by the yogis in the depths of meditation. It's not just a kind of arbitrary symbol. Oh, yes, you just meditate on. So, can't I meditate on my name? Yes, you can meditate on your name. I think there was a poet, Alfred Lord Tennyson, if I'm not mistaken. He used to chant his own name, and then used to go into kind of a trance. If I'm not mistaken, I think that was. You can do that. Your name, you can keep on chanting. You can get into a kind of a state of mind. But when you chant Om, you are meditating on the whole universe. The idea is always you have to meditate on something that's transcendent to you. Why should I become more and more worldly and more limited and more selfish? I need to expand. Vivekananda says expansion is life, contraction is death. So I also, because this is one thing that we always say, that's the deity or the symbol on which you meditate has to be transcendent to your physical and mental being. It's only then can you understand, oh yes, I've got a transcendent dimension. Ah, and now we've got, that's the name of God. And God, yes. Yes, now, but this God is involved in this universe. So Vivekananda says, in whom is the universe? This whole universe is in God. Who is in the universe? Now, the universe is in God. God is in the universe. And God is who is the universe. Here, these are, very profound, you can say. In whom is the universe? Who is in the universe? Who is the universe? Here you are. Your limitedness now is now slowly expanding towards universality. That's the idea. Our real identity, our real, you can say, being is universal. And that's the reason why this symbol makes you expansive and expansive and expansive. And on different levels, the gross, the subtle, and the causal. you may say, oh, this gross perceptual universe has got a name. You know, God has got a name. This gross, it's called a Virat. And then this subtle universe has got this Hiranyagarbha, the golden wombed. First is the cosmic man, Virat. The whole cosmos is God's body. And then that very cosmic God is called Hiranyagarbha because that is identified with all the subtle bodies in the universe. And then there's another aspect of that same Godhead which is called Ishvara, Godhead, which is the cause of everything. So the gross are subtle and causal. In deep sleep, you go into that causal body and you emerge out of it. You go back to it and emerge out of it. You keep on. That's your cycle, your day and night, day and night. You merge inside, you emerge. So similarly, on the cosmic scale also, this thing goes on. This whole universe merges in a cause and emerges from there. So that cause is, as they call, Ishvara. So everything emerges from there. So now when we meditate on this, and the Upanishads also they say, especially another Upanishad, Mundaka Upanishad, saying Pranavo Dhanu, like the symbol Om is like the bow, and the arrow is the individual soul. And what's the target? Brahman. And you've got to concentrate and let go that bow, and it will go and become one with the target. Pranavo dhanu sharo yatma brahmata lakshya muchyate apramatas tattaro bhavati sharvattanmayo bhavet. So here we have the same. Here you have the analogy of two pieces of wood being rubbed, like meditation. That also is another kind of a illustration. The Kathopanishad says, in fact, there are hundreds of references. My God, it's unbelievable. This, the whole of the Vedas has emerged from this Om. It's not only the Vedas, it's called the mind of God. So the mind of God. Why I'm, explaining this thing? Because most of you are initiated. And the Om is a universal symbol associated with every mantra. If a mantra is without the Om, it's no mantra at all. It's gone. So slowly, as we keep on, this is the highest, you can say, support. This is the best support. Etadalambanam sreshta etadalambanam param. If you can understand this Om, etadalambanam jnatva, if you can understand, you will be venerated, glorified, famous in the world of Brahman. And all your desires will be fulfilled. Yeah. So is Brahmaloke Mahiyate. Now this is not just a kind of a, you see, we are in Hollywood. It's like, the stars come and go. Because I had read all this, the Hollywood Walk of Fame all my life. And then I was walking down, hey, this is the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Wow. And I couldn't even figure out whose names are the stars. Where are they gone? Gone. So.
Oh, really? They're all what?
All
worn out?
Yeah.
No, they're
I mean, these
They're
people
just
are
people.
disappeared from the world, a lot of
Oh,
them.
yeah.
Yeah,
nobody
I
knows
think
how
that's
to
what
act.
you meant. Yeah.
That was it.
This is a kind of spiritual eminence we're talking about. Brahmaloki. So it's not any worldly or any kind of a material, you can say, glorification, I think. So this was just to encourage you. There's a guy who's sitting down. You'll be, glorified in the world of Brahman. Yeah. Oh, really? Okay, let's see. Let's do that.
Yeah.
It's a kind of to egg a person on. But then, of course, uh, when you realize that you are one with that, oh, actually, what happens is as you are meditating on this symbol, you've got to be first one with that symbol. But my name is so and so. Wait, just a moment. You said what? My name is so and so. That name was given to you. What's your real name? You'll discover that my real name is that Om. Oh, now you don't have to like Lord Tennyson meditate on a separate name. You're meditating on your real name. And as you get identified with that name, which is also the name of God, you will keep on getting identified with God. There you are. All our troubles are just because of we have got a wrong perception about ourselves and the universe. I am separate. The moment I say I am one with the universe, there you are. When you can expand yourself to the universe, you will get identified with God. Because the universe is like his body. Like you there's something you feel a kind of an essence within you. That which gives you meaning. It was all Greek idea, Plato, Aristotle, they're saying, yes, you have a being, and that being has a kind of an essence there. Finding your essence means finding meaning in life. So you have a kind of a feeling that, yes, I am separate from this body. Nobody says, I am a body. They say, I have a body. Because why? Your experiences are teaching you that you are separate from your body. Your essence is separate from your body. Here you are. In the same way, we can say this whole universe is a body of God. And there's an essence to this universe, which is the luminous one, the Deva. That's what he's saying. They, through meditation, to that constant, you can say, rubbing of the two pieces of wood, and then it sparks. There you find, oh, the essence of this universe is God. And God's essence and that essence which is in me are not different. Then there comes the merging. That's the name of God, that's the name of the universe, and that's your real name. There comes the merging. You become one with it. And then you enter a state of mind where you actually perceive. And that's what the Upanishads say. Hey, Devam Pashet Nirgudavat. That you see that deity which is hidden. There it is. Why should it hide? Now that's it should have been there for us all. Yeah, see, yeah, there is God. But for those who have attained that level of perception, for them they see, yes, it is God. God is not hiding here. Swami Vivekananda says, I have seen nothing but God all my life. Here you are. And if you ask him, do you think he's hidden? No, he's not hidden. He's there. A kind of a veil has come between me and that God. Now you may call it a different name, non-knowledge or Maya or whatever. That needs to be ripped. And that is done through that meditation on this ground. Okay. Like another dimension is the waking state, the dream state, and the deep sleep state are also like each fragments of that Om. A is the waking state, U is the dream state, and mm is the deep sleep state. This has been discussed in the Mandukya Upanishad. Yeah, yeah, that's a point, that Bindu, where you transcend. That's where you. So a person who transcends these three states realizes the reality, that the fourth state, beyond this waking, dream, and deep sleep. For that person, there is no sleep as we sleep, we experience. Like Ramakrishna used to say, I have put my sleep to sleep. Yeah, it's like that. We see that person, oh, he's hungry, he's sleeping, he's walking about. That person doesn't. That person is. And the Gita and all these things, hundreds of verses are there. Yastu sarvani bhutani atmanyeva. When you see all living beings in your Atman, and your Atman in all living beings, that is the highest state. So here you are. This is the result of this meditation. That which was hidden is now revealed. So don't blame God because he's hidden himself. Because the nature of God is consciousness, and consciousness always is self-revelatory. It reveals. God is the most known fact. The rest of the things may or may not exist. The universe may or may not exist. And you may or may not exist. But this is a fact. So, this is how the sage has given us a symbol where we can now practice meditation. Keep on practicing. Oh, they're saying you do it for one day. And then look around. God hasn't appeared. What happened? Oh, no. 2 years, 3 years. He's hidden himself nicely. He's not revealing himself. Oh God. But that's not true. Somewhere deep down, we don't want to let go our individuality. We want to have this and we want to have this also. A little. Like I mentioned last time also. Like the other day we were discussing. St. Augustine says, oh Lord, free me from lust. Not yet. Yeah, we are not ready to just let go. This meditation, this as it makes you expansive, will let you go of these small things. And that is actually life. What is life? It is giving up the small for the larger, the higher. If a child keeps on saying, I'll play with my toys and I'll do my PhD in physics, there's something definitely wrong. So he has to give up that. You'll have those memories of all those small things that you have done, and you look back and smile. And this is what makes childhood joyous and happy. They get immersed in that, whatever is that. And then you're saying, oh, you don't call yourself, oh, what a fool I was. No, that was the stage. And now that I've transcended the stage, I don't go look back and criticize. I don't go and criticize my arm because it hurt itself. Can't you see? You hurt yourself. It's, it's part of me. So all those memories will come later on. Oh, it was like this. Oh, and then we transcend it. A little clarification is now been given by the sage here. The 15th verse, please, page 97. Kileshu tailam dadaniva sarpir apashrotas swaranishu chagni evam atma atmani griyate yaso satyena tapasa yovam pashyati. Beautiful, beautiful verses. As oil is found in sesamum seeds, clarified butter or ghee is found in curds, water is found underground. I mean, you dig and you find a well, and you go dowsing for water. And fire in the aranis, the piece of wood, like the kind of repeat. Similarly, this self is realized, this Atman is realized in oneself. So, evam, thus, Atmana Atmani. The self is realized in the self. Oh, really? Yes, that's the highest stage. And, you say, him who sees this one through truth and concentration. Here, we have a little more. Okay, you are doing meditation. Yeah, you need a little more. You can say things to be equipped with. What is that? Truth and concentration. So this is what is this. So I'll read it again. As oil is found in sesamum seeds, clarified butter is found in ghee. Clarified butter, ghee is found in curds. Waters, subterranean waters are found by searching, and fire is found in wood. Similarly, the self is realized in oneself. It's not here. Then what about all these deities? We have this deity and this worship, and today is a very auspicious day. It is,
Holy.
yeah, it's called a holy. It's the start of spring, and in India they play with colors. Oh,
So much fun.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, is that when they have like that paintball thing?
Yeah, they
Oh,
throw
yeah.
they throw colors.
body.
Yeah. And it's also the birthday of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was a prophet of love. He was the founder, as I say, of this Vaishnavism. Vaishnavism, Noel, he kind of made a kind of a Gaudiya. That Mantra, all these things. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Rama. And so it's his birthday. And so here, we have these deities and birthdays and the celebrations and this and that. Oh yes, we need that. There are many people who would like that. Sri Ramakrishna says, you start with God is out there. There you go. Then the second stage is God is nearby. He is all this. And then the third stage is God is within and without. So you travel from out towards it. You internalize the idea. The idea of worship is this deity you are worshipping, you have to internalize that idea, that concept, that deity. I cannot concentrate on that deity within me. It's difficult. I try to meditate, and the deity runs to the left, sometimes it runs to the right, sometimes it disappears, sometimes it goes up. Well, so what do I do? Yesterday, somebody had come and said, what do I do? I said, you do one thing. You keep the picture of the deity in front of you and keep on staring at it. And when your eyes get tired, automatically you close them. And watch the deity with it. And then we are bored watching it, or it becomes slightly, you can say, uh, pale, or you can say, become less, you can say, defined, indistinct. Then you open your eyes again and watch the deity there out. And then again, that was the original idea of worship. The external worship has to be combined with the internal worship. So both the puja, the outside, has to be done with the mental worship also, mental puja. So a combination. We must be able to internalize the deity. And as we keep on doing it, where do you find it? Within your own self. There. Like oil is in the sesamum seeds. You've got to take those seeds and crush them. You dry them, crush them, and then you will derive the oil. Or like butter it's in milk. What do? Keep on churning that milk. And you keep on churning. As you keep on churning, you'll find butter rising and floating on that. So similarly, you keep on internalizing these ideas. And there you are. You will find, you try to, there's a thing, who am I? Yeah, that is not a question you ask somebody. It's a question you ask oneself. If you ask somebody else, who am I? Then you'll say, yeah, there's something wrong with you. So what do? You ask yourself, who am I? You question yourself. And then you start the process of discovery. You keep on discovering layers after layers of yourself. And finally you will come down, hi, I found myself. No, you don't do that. And hey, I found God. That is what happens. In the process of self-discovery, you find out that real self is the self of God. There within you. There. And what happens? Yeah, there you are. So long we have been searching for God in this pilgrimage place, this temple, or this church, or this mosque, or synagogue, and this, that. We'll be doing this and this and this. You could have just gone within in your own heart and find out that, yeah, this is what it is. Hey, that is. So now, apart from meditation, you do meditation. Oh, then what happens? Hey, my phone's ringing. Let's get my phone. I keep my phone, and once again, and then I think someone has come knocking on the door. No, that's not. It'll have to have concentration. That concentration, truth, and concentration. Yes, this truth and concentration are necessary. Why is it necessary? Because the nature of being, the nature of God is truth. There you are. And that's why they tell us, speak the truth. And speaking the truth has got one advantage. You don't have to remember what you said. The moment you speak the truth, you got to. I don't have to contradict myself now. I have to keep remembering, and it makes things worse. You say things, this is what it is, and forget it. As you keep on speaking, and Shri Ramakrishna says, if you don't do anything, if you just stick to truth, you will realize God. It's not only God. You are, as it were, lying in the lap of God. There you are. So, 12 years, and there's a direct disciple says that if you hold truth after 24 years, even if you don't do anything, you don't want to realize God or anything, it will happen to you. Because there's somewhere you are aligning yourself to that. And those discordant notes that you had are all eliminated, and you are now here. Concentration. Yes, what we love, we concentrate on. It is not something, it's a not mechanical process. This is like in the Yoga Sutras, I have to pull my senses out and I keep it here and then concentrate there. If I love a particular thing, I'll keep on concentrating on it. Simple as that. So here you're told to get reoriented. Love yourself. We actually love ourselves. But then we have somehow kind of mistakenly taken that false identity as true. It's not that we don't love ourselves. We do love ourselves. But we take our bodies or there are some properties in the bodies or in the mind. I am good. I've got this. I can play music. I can dance. I can sing. I can this. I can paint. I can this. I keep on loving myself because of those qualities. If I could love myself because of that Godhead in me, there I am. So the Rishi has given a very clear, I can say, definition of the means to realization. Like, in India, you can preach anything. If you say, for 12 years, if you stand on one foot, you will realize God. And you'll have many adherents. You will get many disciples. Oh, oh yes, so big. Yeah, we'll say. Swami Vivekananda says, I met a man who had kept his arms on for more than 12 years. I said, how was it? How was it? Oh, yes, it was. How was it? It was excruciating, painful. I used to go to the river and immerse myself to allay the pain. And then, but he kept his hands up. Oh, imagine. His limbs had withered away because there's no circulation of blood and all that. And here you are. There are some people who keep on standing and they will never sit down. Their legs have swollen, the knees and all, everything has become stiff. They just cannot bend their knees or ankles. They keep on standing. But the Bhagavad Gita is very clear. They don't realize that I am the indweller here in this body. He's saying, Karshayanta Sharirastham Bhutagramam Mam Chaivanta Sharir Tam Vidya Asura. These are kind of devilish people, devilish mindsets who try to hurt the body. They don't realize that I am here within this body. So you've got to be nice to yourself. Don't try to break yourself with these kind of austerities. This is the austerity that I say. Love yourself, you get concentrated, align yourself to the truth, that God within, And there you will realize that within your own self. And there we have these two verses speaking. The third verse, the 16th verse, also is the extension, but we will stop here for today. It's an extension of this, and that's the end. And with that, the first chapter will end.